Morning students, and welcome to this video. Today we are going to study an important topic of English grammar, and that is direct and indirect speech or narration. So let's begin with what do we mean by direct speech and the indirect speech. There are two ways of relating what a person has said, or we may report the words of a speaker in two different ways. These two ways are direct speech and indirect speech or reported speech. In direct speech, we report the original speaker's exact words, or we may quote his, that is, speaker's actual words. For example, he said, "I have lost my umbrella." Rani said, "I am working hard for the examination." When using direct speech in your writing, you need to use the correct punctuation. So keep this thing in mind. Number one, the exact words spoken must be enclosed in inverted commas or speech marks, as I have shown in the slide. Then next, the first word of the speech must begin with a capital letter, and the words in the speech marks must be separated from the rest of the sentence by a comma. Now for example, he said, "I have lost my umbrella." In this sentence, the original words of the speaker, "I have lost my umbrella," are in the inverted commas. Then I have put a comma after the reporting speech, that is he said, and the first letter of the reported speech, the first word is I, so it is a single letter word, so that is why it is in capital letters. Similarly, in the second example, Hari said, then I have put a comma. Then the original words of the speaker, "I am very busy now," I have put them in inverted commas, and the first letter of the first word, here it is a single letter word I, so it is in capital letters. Then in indirect speech, sometimes called as reported speech also, we do not use the exact words of the speaker. Instead, we report what was said. For example, he said that he had lost his umbrella. Rani said that she was working hard for the examination. Here you have to keep these things in mind. In indirect speech, we do not use the exact words of the speaker. Then we do not use inverted commas or speech marks, and we do not use comma after say or said in indirect speech. Now here are few examples. In direct speech, if we write, "He said I have lost my umbrella," in indirect speech it becomes, "He said that he had lost his umbrella." Another example, Rani said, "I am working hard for the examination." In indirect speech it becomes, Rani said that she was working hard for the examination. Next example, she said to me, "I can meet you now." This becomes, she told me that she could meet me then. Now one more thing which you must keep in mind is that suppose I am giving you this example, he said, "I have lost my umbrella." So here he said, this part of the sentence till the comma is known as the reporting speech. That part of a sentence which remains outside the inverted commas is known as the reporting speech, and the verb used in reporting speech is known as the reporting verb. So here said is the reporting verb. And the words in the inverted commas are known as the reported speech. So reporting speech part is he said, Rani said, she said to me, and reported speech is in inverted commas. I have lost my umbrella. I am working hard for the examination. I can meet you now. And said here in the reporting speech is your reporting verb. Direct speech is found in conversations in books, in plays, in drama, and in quotations. Whereas indirect speech is normally used when conversation is reported verbally. We often use reported speech or indirect speech to, number one, give someone a telephone message. For example, Rima said she couldn't come today because she was busy. Then, to tell someone news that we heard from someone else. For example, Hina told me that she got engaged. And to report something that happened. For example, Mohan said that the other driver wasn't paying attention and hit the car. And now we'll talk about some rules for changing direct speech into indirect speech. So these are some common rules, okay, which we can apply to all the 4 types of sentences. Number 1 is your tense change. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, okay, when the reporting verb is in the past tense, all present tenses are changed into the corresponding past tenses. This means that you have to change the simple present into simple past. Okay, a simple present becomes a simple past. For example, if you write in direct speech, he said, I am unwell. In indirect speech, it will become, he said that he was unwell. So, am becomes was. Another example, in direct speech, the girl said, the flower is pretty. In indirect speech, it will become, the girl said that the flower was pretty. So, is becomes was. Simple present changes into simple past. Then, a present continuous tense becomes a past continuous tense. For example, in direct speech, if we say, he said, Rima is coming. In indirect, it will convert into, he said that Rima was coming. Another example, direct speech, he said, my sister is writing letters. In indirect, it will become, he said that his sister was writing letters. Similarly, present perfect becomes past perfect. If you write in direct speech, I have found a flat, he said, it will become, he said that he had found a flat. Another example, direct speech, the principal said, all the students have passed. In indirect, it becomes, the principal said that all the students had passed. Then, present perfect continuous becomes past perfect continuous. Example, direct speech, he said, Rohan has been coming. In indirect, he said that Rohan had been coming. Now here there is an exception in this rule, so just note it. If the reported speech relates to some universal or habitual fact, the simple present tense in the reported speech remains unchanged. For example, if we write in direct speech, he said man is mortal. In direct, he said that man is mortal. In direct speech, if we write, Rohan said honesty is the best policy. In indirect, it will become, Rohan said that honesty is the best policy. Similarly, if we write, he proved the earth is round. Then in indirect also we will say he proved that the earth is round. Then next simple past becomes past perfect. In direct speech, example, I took it home with me, she said. In direct speech, she said she had taken it home with her. Another example, direct speech, he said rain fell last night. Indirect speech, he said that rain had fallen the previous night. Then past continuous tense becomes past perfect continuous tense. For example, direct speech, he said Seema was dancing. Indirect speech, he said that Seema had been dancing. Another example, direct speech, she said Reema was playing cricket. In indirect speech, it becomes she said that Reema had been playing cricket. Then in past perfect, there is no change in tense or verb form. Keep this thing in mind. And past perfect continuous also, there is no change in tense or verb form. And now students, that's all for today, and we'll continue with this topic tomorrow. So till then, study and enjoy. Thank you.